Welcome people, we're back with another video, and this video is about Freemasonry and their connection to the Illuminati. Please, as always, to make sure to hit that like and the subscribe button and turn on the notifications to never miss a video. On May the 1st, 1776, the founder of the Illuminati, Adam Weishaupt, founded this secret organization, and this date can be found in Roman numerals underneath the all-seeing eye pyramid on the $1 bill. This $1 bill also says Anut Coptus Novus Ordo Secularum. This is Latin for announcing the birth of the New World Order. This New World Order will be headed by Lucifer, the all-seeing eye, and followed by the 13 layers of bricks for the 13 elite bloodlines. So your Orsini's, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Soroses, and the other 9 elite families. So when Adam Weishaupt created the Illuminati, he made it consisting of high-level degree Masons, French and Latin philosophers, and many more powerful people to all become one society. So this is why you see Masons using this same symbol of the all-seeing eye inside the pyramid. But not all Freemasons are part of this Illuminati secret society. As the 33rd degree Freemason Manly P. Hall said in his book The Secret Teachings of All Ages, Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect. So what he's saying here is that Freemasons have to go up the degrees of Freemasonry, and once they hit the top, they either get elected or not into these secret societies like the Illuminati, Skull and Bones, and Knights Templar. So when you see celebrities doing this one-eye symbolism, either covering one eye, doing the triangle, or doing 666 over one eye, this is showing and reflecting the symbolism of Freemasonry. They have taken the oath to never speak on anything they learn about Freemasonry. Duncan's Ritual of Freemasonry book states the oath they have to take. Quote, I ... of my own free will and accord, that I will hail, ever conceal, or never reveal any of the secrets, arts, points of Master Mason's degree to any person whomsoever. All this most solemnly, sincerely promise and swear. Now, this is what happens when they break the oath, stated in this book, quote, myself severed in two, my bowels taken from thence, and burnt to ashes. So this states that Freemasonry comes first, before any law of the land. It has the right to kill you if you break your oath. This is the hand gesture they have to do every time they enter the ritual room inside the Masonic lodge. This is the cutthroat symbol, showing you and reminding you of the oath and what will happen if you break it. Now in this book, Richardson's Monitor of Freemasonry, it states, if you break your oath, binding myself under no less penalty than to have my throat cut across, my tongue torn out by the roots, and my body buried in the rough sands of the sea. If they do not decide to kill you, this book states this by pointing him out to the world as an unworthy vagabond, by opposing his interest, by dearranging his business. In other words, they have the power to frame you and destroy your reputation to the world, and destroy your business if you break this oath. So yes, they do kill to keep this truth hidden, because this truth of this reality is what keeps them in power. They have the ability to manipulate people, because people do not know what manipulates them. This is why they call themselves the government. They govern the ment which is the mentality, because the mind is the root cause of reality. They control what you perceive to control what you manifest. By knowing the truth, you are set free, and you no longer need no controller above you. So this is why they are willing to kill and do whatever it takes to keep the truth concealed within these high-level degrees of masonry and these secret societies. However, going back to Manly P. Hall's book, it states, part of the symbols are displayed here to the initiate, but he is intentionally misled by false interpretations. So this is saying even Freemasons are intentionally misled and told lies to conceal the truth, to make sure the truth is hidden in the high degrees of masonry. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you all for tapping in. Please leave a like and a subscribe. God bless.
Welcome back, people, to another occult lecture by Revival of Wisdom. Today we're going to be talking about magic and how it's being used on us for the New World Order. Magic has the word mag within it, which is magnetism. Magnetism is the force. Magic is influencing forces, natural or supernatural forces, and using it for a certain agenda to gain something out of it. Now, magic is not what everyone's being thought. It's not some sort of fantasy thing. It's actually very common, and we all do it, whether you believe it or not. Magic is all to do with the mind. As I said, always say in my lectures, your mind is what creates matter. Your mind is what creates your external world. So it's all about manipulating and planting seeds within the mind, because your mind is a garden, and thoughts and words are seeds which are being planted in that garden. Your life, your physical life, the people you have in your life, your friends, your car you own, the job you have, is all a reflection of the thoughts that you've been thinking in the past. You are where you are in life because of the thoughts that you've been thinking. Therefore, your life is a direct reflection and manifestation of your mind. The Garden of Eden. Okay? The mind is what they are targeting. What you see, say, and hear has a direct effect on your mind. Me talking to you is influencing you. The words I'm saying is planting seeds within your mind. Now it's up to you to consciously act on these thoughts or these words, or to maintain these words. As above, so below. As within, so without. What's inside of me is outside of me. What comes into the storehouse comes out of the storehouse. You have the left, you have the right, you have the up and you have the down. As above, so below. Whatever is in your mind will be expressed in some sort of way, consciously or subconsciously, spiritually or physically. The mind is what manifests everything. And this is what we need to understand. We need to understand is that the mind is not physical. All things spiritual manifest physical. All things seen come from the unseen. The words you're thinking, that everything you have is coming from the unseen. The actions that you do come from the unseen mind. Another expression for as above, so below is you are the universe itself. You are a universe, a mini universe. But just because you are mini does not mean you are the whole thing. If I take a little piece of infinite, let's say there's an infinite light source. Let's say I take a little chunk of that infinite light source. That little chunk I took is still infinite because it's been taken from infinite. You are the universe. Your awareness, your mind is the universe. It's information. You are the universe experiencing itself. This is why we say we are all God. As above, so below. What is in me is outside of me. The sun, the physical manifestation of the sun, is your soul. The 12 constellations are manifested in the physical body. The 5 elements are manifested in the physical body. They're manifested in the 5 fingers you have. As above, so below. This is manifested, well, this is a symbolized in Freemasonry and secret societies as the 2 pillars. The mirroring reflection, the reflection of reality, the mirror. As above, so below. What happens in the mind, what happens in the astral, happens in the physical. This is Aleister Crowley. This is all symbolism. This is the 2 pillars with the all-seeing eye and the triangle at the top. Aleister Crowley was a master magician, very powerful dark magician, black magician. There's 2 types of magic. You have white and black, just like the checkered board, the Masonic checkered board. You have white and black. You have good and evil. White magic is influencing natural forces to gain something that will help the collective consciousness, help the collective, help the earth, help other people. Black magic is something you manipulate something so you can get something personal out of it. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It's still considered as black magic because you're being selfish. Everything you do should be contributing towards the collective consciousness and helping others. And this is why the ancients lived in a system where everything was in unity. We understood that I am you and you are me. What I do to you happens to me because I am you and you are me. We are the same mind substance on the inside. We're all the same mind substance being expressed in different bodies. So what I do to your mind will have a ripple effect on my mind because all of our minds are connected within the mental plane. So this is why they know all this knowledge. They know all this knowledge. So yeah, this is the mirroring effect of reality, the 2 pillars, or symbolizes the number 11. The number 11. We'll go deeper into that. The technology we're using is magic. It's a form of magic. Television is tell a vision. They're telling a vision into your subconscious mind, into your memory. And when you turn on the television, you get a program because they're telling a vision to create a program within your subconscious mind. You see, the conscious mind is only 10% of your mind, which is to do with your, what you're aware of, your 5 senses. What are you consciously aware of? Well, I'm aware I'm here, I'm talking. I'm aware of what I'm wearing, the 5 senses, what I can hear, taste, smell, hear. What I'm wearing, I'm aware of what I think of. But the subconscious mind is the 90% of your mind. It's the hidden part of the mind, which is telling your heart to beat, telling your body to breathe. It's storing all of your emotions. It's storing everything you see, storing all the belief systems that you have. It has everything. It stores all of the habits you have, the values. It stores everyone's name that you know. All the words that I'm speaking right now is all coming out of the subconscious. Everything is subconscious. And it literally manipulates 90% of your daily basis behavior. Most people don't know this. What you did yesterday is what you will do today because of these beliefs and mental programs within the subconscious, stored within the subconscious. So the subconscious is what they're aiming at. They're trying to create programs within the subconscious, because the subconscious manifests 90% of your thought patterns, 90% of your actions and words. They know all this stuff. So the subconscious mind is the most powerful part of the mind. Another way the subconscious manifests and influences your life is, let's say you were in a car crash years and years ago, 10 years ago. Let's say you're in this car crash, right? And you really hurt yourself. The emotion you felt in that time when you were injured in that car crash had a great impression on your subconscious mind. You see, the stronger you feel something emotionally, the stronger impact it has on the subconscious. You can remember and recall that moment, and very vividly, because of the impact it had on the subconscious. Another, for example, you become that terrified of cars that it manifests into your life today, that you are wary to go in certain cars. You don't want to go into cars at all, maybe, because of that moment that is stored within the subconscious. And it will manifest into anxiety. It will manifest into not going into cars. It will manifest into depression, maybe. These things, these emotional, very emotional, traumatic events have a great impression on our subconscious, and they control your life. This is why you need to meditate and let go go deep within yourself and let go of these internal, deep emotions that you may have repressed and keep pressing down and ignoring. But you need to address it and let go of these subconscious impressions you have, which are controlling your life, like anxiety, depression. All of these things are stemming from things that are stored within your subconscious years and years ago, more than likely. Broadcasting. They're casting spells to a broad audience. To news, north, east, west, and south. They're casting spells. Now, if you watch the news, everything's red. Breaking news in red writing or the red background. Everything's red. Why? Because red's the root chakra, which is all to do with survival. They want to stimulate this root chakra because they want you down there in survival mode. They want you in survival mode because you're easier to control. They control out of fear. And not only, they're casting these spells as if, because most of the things they cast in the news hasn't already happened. They're constantly bombarding you with, there might be a war breaking out, war this, war that, kill here, kill there, murders. It's impressing, it's casting spells on your subconscious mind. So when the event does turn up in real reality, in physical reality, you're less emotional, you're less surprised. You're not as surprised because you've already heard it before. Your subconscious has already heard it all before. If you never heard of a war and then a war broke out, you'd be going crazy. So they subtly program your subconscious mind through the words, because the words they say is impressing your mind. It has an effect on your mind, which will have an effect on your behavior, your words, your conversations you have with people. They're casting spells to north, east, west, and south on the tell a vision. They're telling a vision by broadcasting, by saying spells. This is why we call it spelling. Even the words we say cast spells. Bless. Bless you. That's be less. The subconscious mind only picks up literal things. You see, when I say bless you, your conscious mind picks that up as, oh, thank you, you're blessing me. But your subconscious picks up as be less. You see? Because the subconscious it has no filter. It's just, it is what it is. Everything is factual in the subconscious. Therefore, if I call you an idiot, your subconscious, my subconscious will think I'm talking to myself and calling myself an idiot, and it will take that as true. That is truth. Everything is truth within the subconscious. And the subconscious manifests your behavior. The devices this is the biggest one. Black scrying mirrors. Device, the devil's vice. The device. Okay? Black scrying mirrors, black screen is scrying. Black scrying mirrors were used to communicate with spirits within the astral plane in the medieval times. They're still being used now by black obsidian mirrors. And look at your phone, it's a black mirror. And there's some sort of, I'm not saying this is fact, but personally I believe these are portals for spirits and ethereal entities to come into your life, to come into your surroundings. So this is the next big thing. The TVs, your iPhone, your iPod, all black mirrors. And mirrors are very, very powerful. Even just a normal mirror. Mirrors have an effect. Whatever you say into a mirror, what you say is energy. And when you say something into a mirror, you're saying it into yourself. It's an infinite cycle of words, of energy. Because it's being reflected infinite times. When you say something into a mirror, it has a massive effect. You're saying it directly into your eyes, into your mind. So what you say in a mirror should be said with precaution. Never say anything negative into a mirror. Because mirrors are very, very powerful ways for you to reprogram your subconscious mind for the good. You can say very positive things into mirrors and it will reprogram your subconscious mind. Okay? Manifesting is all magic. It's all magic. Everything is magic. But consciously doing it is what they're doing. They hid this knowledge. Your phone is magic. It manipulates your mind. The iPhone. Okay? See, magic isn't all of this with wands and what... See, Harry Potter, okay, that was created to give you this perception of a mystical and amazing form of magic with magic wands and all sorts of stuff like that. Yes, that stuff was true when the collective conscious minds were on a higher level and our belief systems believed in these things, because the universal mind, all of our minds contribute to reality. If the masses don't believe in magic, if the masses don't believe in a certain thing, it's going to have an effect on physical reality. So when the collective minds are higher and have more open minds, things like Harry Potter can come true. See, it's all in the mind. The iPhone, the eye is the symbol for the mind, the invisible intelligence. The triangle is the ethereal plane. Okay? So the eye in the triangle is the eye that sees into beyond the ethereal planes. The square is the physical plane. So the iPhone, your phone, is a black box, just like the Saturn black cube. It's a black mirror. It's taking photos of you every 2 seconds. And it's your mind. Your mind is in that phone. Everything you like, everything you text, everything you type in Google, everything you say to someone, every conversation, is all recorded on the phone. Therefore, it is a direct reflection of your mind. Your mind is imprinted into your phone because your mind, everything you think in your mind, you're manifesting into typing, saying, taking pictures into the phone, and it's collecting it and storing it. And what they're doing, and this is for all forms of magic, it's manipulating the mind. It's all manipulating the mind. Reels, Instagram, TikTok, this is all dopamine. It's all controlling the mind. Every like you get, every follow you get, every share that you get is dopamine within your brain. They're literally targeting your brain and mind. It's all manipulating, because what they're pushing through the phones, through the media, through the news, through the televisions, is visions and programs. You are the one manifesting the New World Order. They're not manifesting the New World Order. They're giving you the information so you can manifest the New World Order. Everything they say is contributing to your mind. For example, digital money and all the information they put out for you to see is contributing to your enslavement. Your mind is manifesting the New World Order. They know this. They don't manifest it. There's billions of us. We could easily run over them physically. But on a mental level, these people have the knowledge and they hide it from us, and they let us manifest reality because we are the collective. They give us the information which manifests their agenda. It's all magic through the phones, the media, the television. So your phone is a manifestation of your mind. It's a record of your mind. Hollywood, holly tree, holy tree. They used to make wands out of holy trees, because it was the most holiest wood, the best for casting and transmitting energy. So they used holly trees to cast spells. That's what Hollywood is. And in Hollywood, they have the red tear, the blood drop, next to the Hollywood sign, because it's all satanic. They're all black magicians. They use Hollywood to cast the spells through the music, through the films. You see, music is a form of magic. All of this is magic. Everything they do is a form of magic, because they want an agenda behind it. But it's not black magic. They're letting us create our prison. This is what you have to see. Yes, they're evil, but they're not doing anything evil, or else they would face the karma. They let us manifest this agenda through giving in the information, by telling you what's going to happen in the movies. Everything that happens in a movie, it's all there on purpose to program your subconscious, to plant a seed within your garden, your subconscious, your mind. Because when the mind has already seen something, when it comes up and turns up in physical reality, you will be less shocked and you won't rebel. So they lure you slowly. They make you aware of these things over time. They make you gradually think it's okay. Like the technology, we never used to use these phones. How did we become so addicted and reliant on them? Well, because first they gave you a little flick phone. Well, no, sorry, they gave you a phone in your house, and then once you got used to that, they say, "Oh, here's the newest version of a little flick phone." You started texting your friends. Everyone was loving it in high school. They could now meet up without saying, "Let's meet on the weekend at this point at this time," like your parents probably did. Or maybe some of you watching this, you probably had to tell your friend to meet on the weekend at a certain time because you had no way of communicating. So everyone got these phones and got addicted to them. Then they slowly got addicted to the new iPod with the touchscreen. Now they invented touchscreen. Then everyone got addicted to touchscreens. Then because all of this is producing dopamine in the brain, which creates you to become mentally addicted to things, and physically addicted, chemically addicted. Because dopamine's a chemical. Your subconscious becomes a program within your subconscious, and your body becomes chemically addicted to these phones. And these phones are the enslavement of humanity, technology. Without this, we wouldn't be in this mess, without technology. Because they're creating a hive mind. We're creating a hive mind. So back on track anyways, they program you. Look at the films, 9/11, all produced by Hollywood. Here's the 11, like I said at the beginning, the two pillars which reflect reality. What happens in the mind happens in the physical. What happens in the astral happens in the physical. Okay, what happens in the physical happens in the mind. It's the two pillars, the mirrors. 9/11. 9 + 1 + 1 is 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. New York is the 11th state. New York adds up to 111. This is not a coincidence. It's all a form of magic. It's a ritual, energy harvesting ritual, because your mind produces energy. Your mental attention produces energy, and they're feeding off this energy in the astral plane, these demons. Music is the most powerful. Personally, I think the music is one of the most powerful forms of magic they're using. Okay? Music is hypnosis. It puts your brain in a hypnotic state. It influences your electromagnetic field through vibrational energy. It reprograms your subconscious mind. Why do you think you remember the lyrics? You see, your subconscious stores all of the memories. Remember, the subconscious manifests 90% of your behavior. So therefore, the music you're listening to is manifesting your behavior. You wondered why some people wonder why they have drug addictions, and they can't get out of violence, and they can't get out of all this negative mind space. It's because the music they're listening to is creating a negative mind space. The words you listen to plant seeds within your mind. So the reason you remember the lyrics is because that song created a program within your subconscious. Yes, that is what happens. You can use magic to reprogram your mind, but you can use music to reprogram your mind, because it's all forms of magic. It's using natural mental energy forces to manipulate the physical reality. You manipulate your mind, you manipulate reality, physical reality. Okay? So the music, another very, very big one. When you turn on the radio, it's just all talks about alcohol, drugs, and sex, because they want you down in the lower three chakras. They want your mind attached to matter when it's mind over matter. Your mind's not physical. You see, the word spirituality is the new trend. It's not about your spirit. It's not about your spirit. It's about your mind. It's not about, spirituality and looking after your spirit. And they've got you focused on your spirit. Why? Because they hide your mind from you. You see, a lot of people think their mind is their brain, but the mind is everything. There is no physical reality without mind. You can have a brain. Imagine if you had no mind but a brain. It wouldn't work. The mind is everything. The mind controls your avatar. It begins in the mind before it happens in the brain. Then the brain manifests through the body. The brain's just an electrical computer. So that, they've got people scared, or do I have a soul or not, and all this stuff. Listen, if you have a mind, you have a soul, because you are not the mind. This is why everything is sort of an illusion, because beyond the mind is your soul. But what is the soul without a mind? You can't have a soul without the mind. But if the mind didn't exist, the soul doesn't exist. You are the person listening to your mind. I shouldn't say person, because you're not the body. You're the entity behind the mind. But if you didn't have that mind, you couldn't understand what you even were. You would just be an observer who couldn't think. So yes, we all have a soul. If you have a mind, you have a soul. Everything is mind. Everything has mind. Mind creates everything. God is mind. And then manipulating your mind through TV, your phone, every little thing, the school, it's all about the mind, people. Control your mind, you control your reality. Just the last thing, here you go. Aleister Crowley, the dark magician, Kanye West doing the exact same thing because they're implementing magic in the music. Here's the Beatles with Aleister Crowley in the background. Bet you never noticed that. Aleister Crowley was influencing music and placing magic within the music to influence the subconscious. This is what Baal worship was. This is why they kill children. They sacrifice these children. Why? Well, because in order to ascend, in order to raise your consciousness internally, godly, by being good, God, or being in order to be good and raise your consciousness and to get something in the physical world, you have to sacrifice yourself. And what do I mean by that? In order to raise your consciousness and ascend, you have to sacrifice the lower nature of yourself. You know, you got to abstain from having sex to retain your sexual energy, to transmute it, or staying away from negative, poisonous foods like meat. So, staying away from blood. We shouldn't be consuming other animals' blood. We should be keeping our blood pure. We are humans. We shouldn't consume chicken blood, chicken germs. We are the most divine creatures on this creation. We are the most intellectual creatures in this creation. Therefore, we should keep our temples pure. We are not animals. If you want to associate yourself with an animal, go out in the wild, go and find a wild boar, and go and try rip its guts out with your bare teeth, because you can't do it. You're not a cat. You're not a carnivore. Okay? So in order to ascend, you have to kill and sacrifice your lower part of yourself to ascend up to your spirit self, your mind self, the highest version. And the elites don't want to do this. So they sacrifice other things like babies to kill them, to exchange their life over to the astral plane, so these demigods in the astral plane can give them something in return in physical. They don't want to sacrifice their lower self, so they sacrifice other things for exchange, for physical pleasure. But the godly person sacrifices their lower self for their higher self to do good and ascend. So this is what all the Baal worship is, people, and this is why they're doing it. Hope you all had an amazing lecture. If you haven't already, go and get the Book of Wisdom for more information. You know, I don't go into dark stuff in this book, because all I do is enlighten people in this book. You can get it in Spanish, English, German, Italian, and French. Worldwide shipping. You can get the PDF or paperback. Or there is also a new one called the Human Health Guide 2.0. It gives you a list of all the foods, grains, oils, and nuts, you know, everything that's alkaline and positive for the body and not man-made and hybrid. It tells you all the products to stay away from, how to fast, how to improve vision, how to improve everything, literally. So the Human Health Guide has been released. If you want that, I'll pull all the links in the bottom in the description. Hope you all enjoyed the lecture, people. God bless you all. In this video, we're going to be talking about the evolution of consciousness. You are born human, however you possess consciousness, which is the awareness behind your being, the awareness behind your thoughts, the experiencer behind your five senses, the experiencer, the observer behind your thought, emotions, and senses. You are an eye, an invisible consciousness looking through a lens which is your body. Your body produces this physical world that you experience. Your brain produces this world. Your brain and body is a technological computer. However, you are an infinite, ever-expanding consciousness behind this physical body. And there is an evolution of consciousness, a cosmic journey of expansion. And this is why we see so much pyramid symbolism in the occult and esoteric world, and especially within Freemasonry. Because the pyramid represents climbing, an evolution, a raising state of consciousness, a journey. Steps symbolize a journey upwards. This is the raising and the evolution of consciousness, our inner world. The transmutation of our inner selves, of our souls and consciousness and our minds. So when we see this pyramid, we're seeing a evolution, a way up to source consciousness. And the eye in the pyramid represents your source consciousness. It represents illumination. It represents divine guidance through this evolution of consciousness. This is why we see the ladder. Consciousness is ever expanding on an infinite journey of evolution. Each individual is a part of this cosmic process, contributing towards the ongoing expansion of both mind and awareness. As we evolve, we collectively explore deeper levels of existence, expanding the boundaries of thought and consciousness. The mind has the ability to expand infinitely into new realms of thought, into new dimensions of mind. The mind cannot be filled up. It is not a physical substance. The body can be filled up because it is a physical thing, but you cannot fill the mind. Therefore, the mind is constantly expanding, ever expanding into new fields of thought. So what we see in Freemasonry, the ladder, is again a journey, an elevation of consciousness. When we are born with an infant consciousness, and as we gain older, we gain an adult consciousness. Our inner world, our inner mind, and our emotional intellect changes and evolves. We are significantly different from when we were very young as an infant. It's because our consciousness evolutes, it changes, it alters like water. So, just like this evolution of your own consciousness as growing up, there is consciousness of beings existing in cycles beyond our own. And their consciousness is unimaginably different from ours. They operate on a higher level of understanding and knowing, experiencing reality in ways that transcend our current comprehension. Our minds right now cannot comprehend the highest states of consciousness. There are entities, there are beings beyond our own, existing in higher dimensions of consciousness that we cannot comprehend because they have expanded. They are on a further way up the ladder of consciousness. However, we are all on the same journey. None of us can take the same journey. There is one ultimate goal, reaching source consciousness. However, this is always ever expanding. However, we are all on a different journey. There is one truth, one source, one goal. However, there are billions in different ways of reaching it, and we are all on these different paths to source consciousness, to this ladder, this evolution of universal evolution. Okay? Their awareness is attuned to new dimensions of existence, reflecting a more advanced stage in the cosmic journey of consciousness evolution. So when you take DMT, you are shot into these higher realms of consciousness where you meet these beings who look similar to these images. They are not speaking to you physically. They don't speak to you three-dimensionally through vibration and words. They speak to you mentally. If you have done DMT, then you know this. And if you have met these beings, then you know this. You might have even met some of these types of beings on mushrooms or any psychedelic drugs. Because ultimately, when you take these mind-altering substances, it's altering your consciousness. It's merging your consciousness with the spirit of that substance. And you are essentially attuning your mind to higher dimensions of consciousness. That's why we say we're getting high when we take these substances. Therefore, when you meet these beings on DMT, you are essentially meeting beings who are attuned to higher dimensions of consciousness, and they speak to you mentally. They speak to you telepathically through thought, because the universe is mental. Everything exists within the mind. The way you are now, your physical existence, is a state of mind. Mind, thought creates matter. Spirit and matter are two opposing ways of thinking. If we have a very spiritual mind, we have an expanded mind, we are a spiritual person through the mind. However, if we have a very low state of consciousness where we think about food, sex, lust, and all physical things, then we have a physical consciousness. Matter and spirit are two opposing forces, two ways of thinking. The mind attunes itself to different levels of understanding in different dimensions. So, essentially, this is what we're looking at. The body is a vessel for the fluidic, formless consciousness, a temple that houses the essence of our awareness. While the five senses are limited to perceiving only the physical plane, the mind transcends these limitations, capable of perceiving the full scope of reality. It is through the mind that we access deeper truths beyond the material, tapping into boundless nature of existence. Physical existence is a thin band, a thin layer of reality. It's like 0.001% of reality. And your five senses are only tuned into this layer of reality. But the five senses are, by design, only allowed to perceive physicality. But the mind has the power to expand beyond this physical five sense state. The mind has the power to expand and evolute. It is a conscious decision whether you want to take this path or not. You can stay in a three-dimensional way of thinking, or you can expand your consciousness from within. It's not an external journey. There is no God going to save you. You must save yourself. Therefore, behind every single one of these eyes is the same source consciousness. However, we are all different cells in a different journey. The organs in your body, the cells in your body are all alive. They all possess same consciousness, universal consciousness. However, we are all on a different journey of evolution. As above, so below. As the baby is in the mother's womb, when the baby becomes conscious, there is a world outside of its mother. What does it do? It presses and seeks a way out to be born in the other world outside of its mother. It is the same with your consciousness, your mind. When your mind becomes aware that there is realities beyond the immediate surroundings, it seeks a way out. And this is exactly what I'm doing to you now. I am now expanding your mind and telling you there is other ways of reality. There is other dimensions of consciousness which you can access through inner transmutation, through different ways of thinking. spiritualism and meditating and connecting with yourself and detaching from external things, we can upgrade our consciousness. Your body is a womb. Why Jesus says you must be born again to see the kingdom of God, because you are born physically and then you must be born again spiritually, awakening your inner consciousness. So like I said, as the baby is in the womb, it's the same principle. As above, so below. You were a baby. You were in your mother's womb and you figured out there is a world outside of your mother. So you seek to weigh out your mother to be born in another world. It's the same now. You must do this now. This is your spiritual evolution. This is the evolution of consciousness. It's ever expanding. When you die, this is a transition. You must learn to not fear death. This is another part of your spiritual journey. You must master death. Therefore, like I said before, the mind has limitless capacity to expand into new realms of thought, continuously exploring uncharted ideas and concepts without boundaries. The mind can ever expand. It can never be filled. It can never ever know everything. There is infinite fields of knowledge, infinite fields of thought. Your current state is just one stage on an infinite pathway. You won't remain human forever. The human experience is a crucial phase where we learn to balance polarities, master the fundamental laws of the cosmos. It is a period of growth and transformation, preparing us for the next stages in our cosmic evolution. The goal is to strive for perfection, yet the true perfection is unattainable. It's like a tunnel, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And as you walk through this tunnel, the light is ever moving backwards. You should forever seek to meet that light, but you will never meet that light because consciousness is ever expanding. You should strive for perfection, yet knowing that perfection is forever unattainable. The journey is endless, with each step revealing deeper layers of understanding and experience. The pursuit of growth and expansion is itself the essence of our evolution. You can find all of this knowledge in the amazing book that I have read for years. I have read this book, The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, the Atlantean, by M. Dorial, translated by M. Dorial. I'm telling you now, this book, now that I've told you this, you have some context on the book. The whole book is about evolution of consciousness. He's talking about higher dimensions beings. He's talking about how you can transcend this physical plane. It is truly the most amazing book you will probably read. One of the best spiritual texts you'll see. It's hard to understand, so you must read it over and over again. And the more your mind progresses, like for me, I read this every couple months, and the more I learn about consciousness, the more I expand my own consciousness. And every time I read this book, I pick out something new that just completely blows my mind, because you can only understand this book to your level of consciousness, to your level of understanding. So now that I've told you all this information, go and read this book and it will absolutely blow your mind. And so will the Book of Wisdom Volume 2, which is now available. I released it the other day. I'm just going to read a page out now. This page is called Spirit and Matter. The Earth is not merely a dense, lifeless rock drifting through space. It possesses spirit, a living essence that animates its form. But what do we mean by spirit? Spirit in esoteric terms refers to the energy, the life force, animating the principles infused in matter. So essentially, what this page is talking about is how everything has spirit, consciousness within it. You are the middle, you are spirit and matter. You have the ability to expand your mind to the God self and raise above our animal instinct, our material self, and know the divine and expand. Animals cannot do this. Animals are not self-aware. Humans possess self-awareness. We can observe our consciousness. We can say, why do I exist? We can look in the mirror and know that we need growth. And this is what Anunnaki means. Anu means above. Anu was the supreme god of the sky, which is a metaphor. He represents spirit above heaven. Anu came down to earth and married Ki, the goddess of the earth, which represents matter. It's a myth, it's an allegory. Anu married Ki and gave birth to the Anunnaki. Spirit came down and infused with matter and gave birth to the human, which is you. You are spirit infused in matter, Anu and Ki, Anunnaki. You are the Anunnaki. And this is just one of the teachings in my book. Honestly, this book is absolutely amazing. If you truly, truly want to expand your consciousness, give this book a read. And obviously, if you're inside the university, I give you this book for free. A paperback version. If you join the university, follow the steps inside of the general chat, you'll be able to download this book. Sorry, not download it. Order a paperback for free. All you have to do is pay for the shipping. You'll also gain amazing knowledge inside of my library, where your mind will just be overblown with the amount of esoteric books. There's over 45 rare occult books, plus you get a PDF of the Volume 1 and Human Health Guide. You get reoccurring updates where I expand on symbolism, occultism, where you will just feel absolutely amazing once you understand esotericism in yourself. You'll also learn how to create the dream reality that you want with the Manifestation Mastery course, where I teach you how your consciousness creates reality. You'll have a real lectures where I post lectures on symbolism, occultism, esotericism. There's a conscious community and live calls and Q&A where you can ask me questions and I'll answer your questions. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has joined the university. Thank you for even liking and watching this video. Any support I just appreciate every single one of you. Please, if you can, leave a comment and a like on this video and let me know any videos you want me to make in the future. And I will start uploading a lot more to the YouTube. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in today. Have an amazing day. What is good, YouTube? Today we're going to be talking about the astral plane and how the cosmology fits into the astral plane. Okay, so first let's go over the astral plane and go over the different layers of reality so that you can understand reality more. You are a multi-dimensional being. You are not in these, you are in all of these realities at the same time. They all interweave into one big reality. But there are different planes. They are different vibrational dimensions. There are different dimensions of reality. The mind is the root cause of reality. We're living in the mind of God. Everything is being thought into existence from the root cause, from the universal mind. This is why the ancient Egyptians said, all is mind. We're living in the mind of God. And we are a microcosm of this mind. This is why we all have the same mind. This mind is the world of thoughts. Now, this world of thoughts is just the thought alone. For example, it is the thought of a chair. But then when you start to imagine this chair and you start to mentally see the chair, you're now manifesting the thought, the singular thought, into some sort of form. So now you're imagining the chair. You're imagining the form of this chair, which is then manifesting into the astral plane. The astral plane is the world of thought forms manifesting. So when you are imagining something, you are seeing into the astral plane. Okay? Your third eye, it is an eye because it sees the astral plane. It is seeing the other side through imagination, through dreaming. Well, we'll go over dreaming later. So, the thought of a chair is a singular thought. The imagination of the chair is the manifestation of the chair. And in the astral plane, it's basically the world of all the chairs that could ever exist. So you're thinking of the chair as a singular thought, which is the mental plane. The astral plane is the imagination of that chair, is the thought, the manifestation of it. Depending on the vibrational state of the thought will depend what level of the astral plane it will go to. For example, if you're thinking about a chair to torture someone on it, it's going to go on the lower astral plane. Or if you're thinking and imagining happy things, it's going to go to the higher astral plane. So wherever your mindset is, that we call it a mindset because your mind is setting frequencies to certain things. Thoughts are frequencies. And a mindset is setting your frequency, setting your mind to a certain frequency. So when you set your mind to a certain frequency and you imagine something in that frequency, you're going to match everything in the astral plane that are on that similar frequency, just like you would in the physical world. Because we're all in these worlds right now as we speak, but we can't see them with the two physical eyes. We can feel it though. When you're around someone and you've just met a new person, for example, you can feel their vibration, and if you're not on a similar vibrational match, you will not get along with that person, or you just won't not get along, but you won't connect with that person because you're on two opposing frequencies, not matching. And this is something you can't see, you can only feel, because it's the astral plane. It exists within the astral plane. Everything in the astral plane is made out of vibrations. So if you do astral project, and if you already know how to astral project, you will see beings and people and things that are on the same frequency as you. This is why before you astral project, you need to sort your vibration out before you astral project, because you are projecting your consciousness into this. It's the mind. The mind is the bridge. It can move between realities. You are a observer. You are a observing soul which observes different realities. And the mind is the bridge between all of these different realities. The mind can choose. If you want to project into the astral, you set your mind to it, you can. Okay? So, let's not get off track. The lower astral plane is where demons are. The higher astral plane is where heavenly beings are. Heaven and hell are kind of a real thing. The etheric plane is a powerful substance. The ether. The fifth element that they don't tell us about. If you type in on Google the 5 elements, they will try to remove it with wood or metal, because they don't want you knowing about the ether. Ether is the energy double behind all physical objects. So the ether is very important. It is the 5th element. It is part of the physical world, but it's also part of the astral world. It is on either side. You see how they're showing you the truth in the language? Ether and either are the same word. The ether has 1 foot in the astral and 1 foot in the physical world. It's a substance that connects the physical to the astral world. It is the either. It's on either side of reality. It's on the other side. Other, either, same word. Ether is connecting the physical to the astral plane. It's the world of frequency. Frequencies, EMFs, torus fields are in the etheric plane. It is the energy plane. It's where energy moves through the ether. Okay? So then you have the physical world, the world of effect. Everything you see in the physical world is the effect of the higher planes. Each plane is a product of the plane above. So, and it melts into each plane. The physical plane is the lowest plane, it's the most densest, and the highest is the most fluid. This is the most fluid, this is the most dense. This is where we get the saying, as above, so below from. As above, so below comes from the different planes of reality. And magicians understand this. This is why magicians always say as above, so below. Because they understand if you manipulate the higher planes of reality, you manipulate the lower planes. Because the astral plane is a direct copy of the physical world, but in the astral plane. It is mirrored. The physical world is mirrored in the astral plane. They are both the same world, but just different vibrational states of the world. Kind of. It's hard to put this in words, people, so just try and understand. The astral plane is the double. It is whatever happens in the astral plane happens in the physical plane. This is why magic works. This is why demons work. This is why spirit communication works. Because if you manipulate the higher planes, you manipulate the lower planes. As above in the astral, so below. Leonardo da Vinci showing you to look up, pointing up. You gotta look up. He's telling you to change the mind, you change the physical world. You change your emotions, you're on the astral plane, you change the physical world. You change your reality by changing the higher planes. This is the Masonic 11. The two pillars. This is the 11, also symbolizing the two hemispheres of the brain here. But the 11 symbolizes the two mirrors. 11. 11. 9, 11. 9, 11 adds to 11. 9 plus 1 plus 1 equals 11. The Twin Towers were an 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. Because it's a mass ritual within the astral plane. Now, we're going to go deep into that later, and I'll show you these rituals they do in order to manipulate the astral plane. So, this is what the 11 is. It's the mirroring of reality. If you contact spirits and conjure spirits, you can either summon or attract demons and spirits. Summoning is creating a spirit. You create demons. Okay? Like I said here, the mind is the root cause of reality. If you think of if you think of a traumatic event that happened in your life over and over and over and over again for years and years and years, where attention goes, energy flows. The mind is the director of energy. If you are directing energy into the specific emotion, the specific thing that is torturing you in your mind, that will manifest as some sort of being in the astral plane, which is called an elemental. And this elemental being that you have created through your thought forms and emotions will latch onto you and feed off this energy. So it's important that you get your mind right, okay? It's important that you sort that you file the mind and you discipline the mind. Make sure it's only entertaining positive things, because you are quite literally creating your own demons. The word demon has the word mon in it, and if you've watched my videos to know mon means moon. The moon is your mind, the sun is your soul, the earth is your physical body. Demon is mon means mind, moon is mind. You create demons with your mind. Summoning. Now this is where the rituals come in. 9/11 was a ritual because everyone was thinking about this big fearing, the death of 9/11. Everyone was thinking about it, and all of their minds thinking about this horrific thing will manifest and summon a negative energy spirit elemental within the astral plane. That's how all of this works. This is why it was a mass ritual. Okay, Chris Brown, new album name 11/11, release date on the 11/11. This will be my 11th album and contain 11 songs. All of these people know the occult. This is Hermes Trismegistus with the star of Saturn, the six-pointed star, as above, so below. The mirroring of reality, physical and astral, the two Masonic pillars. So as above, so below. What's above us? The stars. The stars are connected to the astral plane. This is why we call them stargates. When we dream, we are experiencing these different realities. And what are stars? They tell in the Bible, it says Genesis 1:14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs." Signs translates to things to come. Why things to come? The stars tell the future. Why? And why do we say as above, so below? As above us is the astral plane and the etheric plane. As above, so below. Whatever happens in the stars happens on Earth. The stars are connected to the astral plane. Above us is the astral plane. We are a star in a physical body. This is why we say Mr., Sister, stir equals star. The E and the A are interchangeable. We are stars. And the stars are the start of our incarnation. We start in the stars, same root word, and we descend through the 7 energies, which are our 7 chakras. Then we enter the heart of the soul system. Heart rearranged spells Earth. And this is the true cosmology. Here's the Masonic cosmology. This is Masonic now. Here's the firmament. Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters to divide the waters from above, from the waters that below. Genesis 1:6. The firmament, firmament comes from the word firma, Latin, I'm pretty sure. Which means firm. When something is firm, meaning it's stable, it does not move, it is firm. The firmament is firm. So, is the firmament Genesis 1:6. What does he say? Genesis 1:3, sorry. Let there be light. This is before the sun and the moon was created. Let there be light. Before the sun and the moon was created, light was appeared. So what's that tell you? This is a holographic projection from some sort of light being, some sort of projector. And that projector is the all-seeing eye you see in the Masonic cosmology. This is the all-seeing eye projecting the light beams. Let there be light. Everything is made out of light. The universe is created out of light waves. The torus field is one unit of light. The light projecting this reality is Polaris. Okay, the famous all-seeing eye. Now, what else? Then we have after let there be light in Genesis 1:16, and God made the 2 great lights. This is the sun and the moon, electric, magnetic, male and female. Then we have the Masonic checkerboard, the black and white symbolizing dualities within the dualistic reality we're in, spirit and matter, light and matter, rest and motion, positive and negative, good and evil. Everything's dualistic here. Okay? And it's a dance. The universe is a dance between flickering of white and black light, which is the torus field. We're not going to go over that, but this is all connected to the astral plane. This is the true cosmology. The astral plane cannot work on a spinning monkey ball in the middle of space. Does not work. Cannot work. It's impossible. Okay? Impossible. So, even in the Quran, it says, Allah has made the earth for you as a carpet, flat. Quran 15:19. And the earth we have spread out like a carpet, set there on mountains, firm and immovable. It is immovable. In the Quran, it also says 65:12, it is Allah who has created the 7 heavens of the earth. The 7 heavens meaning the 7 layers of heaven, the 7 planets. And Psalms 104:5, he set the earth on its foundations and it can never be moved. Never. So here you see in Isaiah 40:22, he sits enthroned above the circle of the earth and its people are like grasshoppers. He stretches out the heavens like a canopy and spreads them out like a tent to live in. We live in a tent. This is the tent. The projection of light. Here you see an ancient picture here. Here you see the ethereal barrier, meaning the firmament, the etheric barrier. And here you see his head popping out. Why is his head popping out? Because your head is heaven. Your heel is hell. Your head has access to the astral plane. This is why your head is heaven. The pineal gland, when stimulated, has access to project itself, project consciousness into the astral plane. Here you see another ancient picture here with the Masonic Royal Arch, with the zodiac here, the zodiac on the top, arching, because there's a firmament above us. Here's God in the brain. Consciousness is God. Here you see the Masonic Royal Arch, symbolizing the firmament. George Washington above the Masonic Royal Arch. These are the stars. This is Polaris projecting reality. Here's ancient churches with the dome. Polaris projecting reality with Jesus. Disney World is under the dome. The seven layers of heaven, ancient paintings, all depict if you go and look at the ancient paintings, they'll all depict the firmament, the arch above us. This is where we get interesting. The Masonic Royal Arch has the 6-9, which is Cancer. The constellation Cancer, which is 6-9 is associated with portals, because CERN is the 6-9. Okay, CERN is opening portals. They're trying to create a portal to the other side. Cancer has the word CERN within it, so there is a link between Cancer and the opening, the firmament opening above us, to ascension. Here you see the Masonic art with the Royal Arch and the light and the opening. Here you see the light and the opening. This is the opening of the firmament. Here's the Hebrew cosmology with Sheol, the underworld, and the opening. So Cancer is definitely some sort of portal in and out of this reality. I'm just connecting dots here. Now, we're going to go change a bit now. These celebrities that you are seeing they have not sold their soul to Satan, okay? They have not sold their soul to Satan. Satan is a demonic, low vibrational energy that has been summoned over the thousands and thousands and thousands of years of evil occult arts. So since Babylon was summoning this demonic energy, and this demonic energy in the astral plane will grow and grow and grow. It has no form. It has no physical form. Okay? But you can see it in the rappers. If your third eye is open, you can see clearly that these people are demonic. You can sense the energy that they're manifesting. Selling your soul is not what you've been told. It is gaining, because your soul is pure love, okay? Your soul does not want to do anything bad. So when you sell your soul, you're gaining physical gain. You're gaining physical wealth, for example. Like for these rappers, they will be given millions of pounds because the people in control of the music industry, which is the dark occultists trying to brainwash the masses, the people in charge, they're dark occultists. They understand Satan and the energy. They are satanic energy, which has been summoned in the astral plane. They see that they have influence over the masses, so they will go to them and say, "I will give you this amount of money forever if you manifest this satanic, demonic energy through the music and through social media to blind the masses, to brainwash the masses into this demonic energy." Because when you listen to music is frequency. Whatever you listen to, you become that frequency. So if you're listening to these people, They're throwing energy, this demonic, satanic energy that they sold out to. Sold, soul, same word. When you sold something, you've got your soul involved. They have exchanged money, physical gain, so that they manifest this satanic energy within the astral plane and through the music, through the videos, through social media, to keep us in this vibrational frequency, in this low state of consciousness. This is what it actually is. It's not, you're not selling your soul to some sort of devil. This satanic energy has no physical form in it is formless in the astral plane. It's a summoned energy. Now, the root chakra is red. This is why the devil is red, because it symbolizes the animal nature of man. When you are operating off your root chakra, you will kill, you will fight, you will do anything to survive, because it's all about survival mode in the root chakra. They want you keeping in that fighting mode, that surviving mode, so that you are manifesting this low vibrational frequency, this satanic energy, this demonic red energy. This is why the devil is red. And the devil has a tail with the red arrow pointing down, because it symbolizes your light body. This is your Merkaba. Your Merkaba is your light body. Mer equals light, Ka equals spirit, Ba equals body. Merkaba, this is the devil's tail pointing down, the descension, your heel, up to your heel, hell. Ascension to heaven, head. You see, this is the all-seeing eye with the illumination coming off it, your head, when you're illuminated. The Merkaba is your celestial sphere to portray different planes of reality. It is the vehicle of ascension. It's your light body. It's in the word Kabbalah. Kabbalah. Ka, spirit, Ba, body, La, light. Same thing. Kabbalah. Merkaba. Same thing. It's all about the light body. This light body sees different realities. So when you see the goat in the music industry, it's this satanic summoned energy that's been summoning for thousands of years within the astral plane. When it becomes to the physical plane, it will manifest through different things. A goat, an owl, Satan, Moloch, Baal, same deity, same demonic energy that's been summoning in the astral plane. And this is why the Baphomet has a goat head. Drake's new album is the goat. The Polo G, the Masonic G, with the goat. And here's Rilo Rodriguez in the mirror, with the goat in the mirror and him in his physical body. It symbolizes, the mirror symbolizes the astral plane, because he's manifesting the goat, the demonic energy. He's sold out to the demonic energy, and in the physical plane, he's his physical body. The mirroring, the Masonic 11, the mirroring of reality, the astral and the physical. And what do you call them when they're an amazing rapper, the best rapper? You call them the goat, because you're the goat because you're manifesting the goat energy, the satanic, demonic energy within the astral plane. So Baal, Moloch, all the same thing. Because in the astral plane, if you want to gain spirits to come to you and communicate you, in the physical world, if you want to communicate with spirits, you have to gain their attention. You can either gain their attention or come together and agree to create some sort of being, which is Satan. Okay? You can, like I said earlier, you can create these beings, you can summon them or attract them. One way to attract them is sacrificing. In order for you to become God-man, to turn to God, you have to sacrifice your life. You have to sacrifice, not drinking, not doing things, not doing anything demonic, not doing anything bad, not eating meat. You have to sacrifice yourself to become the light. However, if you want quick, instant gains in the physical world, you can sacrifice something else to communicate with these spirits, because these demonic energies feed off demonic energy, your demonic energy. So these dark occultists will give away babies, they'll sacrifice, torture babies so that they gain, so that they can communicate with these spirits for physical exchange. Yes, you can do this. These powerful spirits, these powerful demons can give you powers. They can give you certain things. And this is what they are doing. They're summoning and attracting the demonic energy. This is why, trafficking is one of the most, Balenciaga. Baal is the demonic energy in the astral plane, which requires child sacrifice for his presence. Balenciaga, and they were trafficking children. They were trafficking, killing them, and offering them to the spirits. This is what they are doing. Balenciaga. It's in the name. Here you see, you can see here a stick man with two horns. The goat, obviously, it's all the same deity. Baal, the goat. Moloch, is Moloch the owl, the Egyptian owl, because it comes from the owl of Moloch, which is Baal, which is Satan, all the same demonic energy. And it's on the dollar bill, a tiny dollar bill, on the $1 bill. All the same thing. Bohemian Grove, they worship the big owl, Moloch. It's all the same thing. It's all one big demonic energy which has been summoning in the astral plane. And it's trying to take over Earth, the physical plane. That's what it's doing. So I hope you all gained a deeper understanding of the astral plane and what's actually going on in the world. Please leave a comment if you can to help the algorithm. Drop a like if you like this content. And hope you all learned something today. And God bless you all. Thank you all. Matthew 21:1, Jesus went into the temple of God. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Now what is this telling you? That God is within you. Hence why in Luke 21:12 it tells you the kingdom of God is within you. And the side of your head region is called a temple for a reason. Because the brain encapsulates the mind. The brain is a physical manifestation of the mind. The heart is a physical manifestation of emotion. So we have these different layers of our consciousness. We have an intellectual, communicative aspect of our consciousness, which we would call the mind. We have an emotional aspect of our consciousness, which is the heart. And to communicate with the divine, it's all to do with the mind. Hence why the ancients always symbolize the mind being God. This is why Michelangelo always placed God inside of the brain on top of Sistine Chapel in the middle of the Vatican. He understood that God is in the brain. God is within you, not outside of you. The church tells you that God is in the sky because they are creating a externalization of the truth to create a business and a distraction, so that you don't find the divinity within you, so that you don't find your power. Now you have Adam, the physical man, the physical body, the ego, the lower self. And he is resting. He's not trying to reach to God, but God is reaching, because the higher consciousness within you is always trying to communicate with you. It's always trying to wake you up to your divinity. But the lower mind, the lower self, Adam, the physical self, is always in ignorance of truth, always in ignorance, and stays in a materialistic way of thinking, which is the lower animal self. And this is what we call a sleep, or an NPC. This is the lower mind of man. But all you have to do is to move your finger to touch God. You have to look within yourself, within the brain, meditate, and you can find God. This is why in the Bible we see many references to the human body and anatomy to truly connect with God. Kings 6:8, the door to the middle chamber was in the right side of the house, which is the right hemisphere of the brain. The middle chamber is the pineal gland, where the seat of your consciousness is, or the seat of your higher consciousness is, the mind. And they went up the winding stairs, which is your spinal column, into the middle chamber, and out of the middle chamber into the third. So they went up the winding stairs. This represents raising your consciousness up the winding stairs. Your spinal column acts as a stairway of consciousness. Depending on what sort of consciousness you are operating in, depends on what part of the spinal column you are using. Because the spinal column ascends and descends consciousness. What do I mean? If you are in a reproductive way of thinking and you're always thinking about sex, you're jerking off all the time and you're always eating, all of your brain's power and your mind's power is being descended into the lower aspects of the spinal column, which represents hell, the physical state of man, Adam, the ignorant state. We're basically living off low-level pleasures like an animal. And the stairway to heaven is your spinal column. They went up the winding stairs into the middle chamber, which is your mind, your pineal gland, and out of the middle into the third stage of consciousness, physical, etheric, astral. When you meditate and you start to raise your consciousness during meditation, you enter the astral plane when you turn off thought. But this is the middle chamber inside of the brain. Here we see another painting inside of Sistine's chapel of God inside of the brain. This is the brainstem. This is the brain. This is the frontal lobe. This is the back lobe. This is the back lobe. This is the cerebellum. Here's the reptilian brainstem. Here's the claustrum. This is what we are seeing here. Anatomy. Here is another one in Sistine's chapel in the middle of the Vatican. This is depicting the brainstem. God's neck looks exactly like the brainstem. Here we see a real brain compared to God's neck, because the neck is just below the brainstem. And this is what they are symbolizing, because they knew that God is within you. And God is a part of the human body. God is inside of the body, because the body is a vessel for consciousness, for universal consciousness. Inside of you, inside of me, is the same spark of consciousness. And this same consciousness is spread out into every living essence, because everything comes from the one source, the one God, the one consciousness. Matthew 6:22-23. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. Practicing the single eye. What is this? This is meditation. This is entering within yourself. So the Bible's telling you to practice the single eye. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. What does this mean? If your consciousness is in an evil way of thinking, if your mind is filled with an evil, negative mind space, then your body shall be filled with darkness, with evil, with negativity. Because negative thoughts destruct the body. Positive thoughts heal and regenerate the body. So he tells you to be, the light of the body is the eye, your consciousness, the inner eye of consciousness, the eye that lets you see. And what do I mean? You look with your two physical eyes, but you see with the inner eye. What you see is perception. You look with the two eyes, and what you see is perception. You are seeing, you are understanding, and that's what consciousness, the mind, gives you. Consciousness, or the mind, is the force that allows you to be a human being, that allows you to understand things and interact with things and make decisions. It's an infinite intelligence. See, the mind is not the brain. This is a big confusion with people. Hence why the eye on top of the pyramid is separate from the bottom half of the pyramid, because the consciousness is separate from the body, the eye, the all-seeing eye. It represents the observer, the eye that sees into this body, into this world, into this. You are the perceiver. You are the invisible spirit within the body. Theologians 4:17. After that, we are still alive, and our left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. You don't meet the Lord in the physical air. Okay? This symbolism of the ancient Christian artwork is showing you this is symbolic. These things never happened. There's no man in the sky. Moses didn't go on a mountain to meet with God. The air represents the mind. This is why you say you're an airhead when someone's very stupid. Earth is your body. Water is your emotions. Fire is your spirit. Air is your mind. The invisible mind. So Anton Mengs, an ancient Christian art worker, is showing you anatomy of God in the clouds. But this is the anatomy of the human body. Raising yourself to the mind and turning the mind inwards on itself during meditation. And that's how you meet the Lord in the air. You meet the Lord in an elevated state of consciousness. The air represents an elevated state of consciousness because the air is up. You have to raise your consciousness to meet the Lord in the air. This is why Moses went on a mountain to meet with God. The mountain represents elevation of consciousness, raising the mind up the spinal column, taking all of the mind's attention away from the reproduction and the physical aspects of self and raising it to the brain and turning off the brain and going inward into the air. It's talking about raising consciousness. It's allegorical, it's a spiritual metaphorical text. The side of your head's called a temple because inside that where that temple is, right in the middle of where you call the temple, is the inner chamber, the open room, the holies of holies in the Bible, or the land flowing with milk and honey, or Mount Zion. There's so many different names for the brain, or the upper room where Jesus meets his 12 disciples, the 12 cranial nerves in your brain. This is the temple of God. Your body is a temple of consciousness. It encapsulates consciousness. It encapsulates the mind and soul. John 10:30. Jesus states, I and the Father are one. Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I am God. He's talking about the I am within you, not within Jesus. Everyone refers to ourselves as I. I am God. I, when you say I, you're referring to the highest aspect of yourself. The aspect that is above all thought, above all emotion, and above all things. I, when you say I, you're referring to your pure awareness, your pure consciousness, the highest aspect of yourself. And anything after I is egotistical. I is God. The letter I is the Roman numerals for one, because there is one God, one consciousness. The letter I is one line, just like the number one. Matthew 6:3-4, take no thought. Therefore take no thought. Take no thought. He says this 5 times because you must turn off the 5 senses and take no thought to connect with God. Be still. This is telling you to meditate and know that I am God. The I am within you. I and the Father are one. I and God are one. You, who you think you are, is a completely wrong. The body is matter. Your name isn't you. Your job isn't you. Your reputation, your trauma, your memories, your friends, family, worries, bills, interests, dislikes, goals, passions. Anything to do with the thinking mind is not you. Who you think you are is a part of your thinking aspect of consciousness. But once you remove thought, you are no longer your name. You are no longer your body. You are no longer your reputation. You are the I. You are pure awareness, pure consciousness. pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness has latched on to this name, this job, the body, and your traumas. Your pure consciousness has attached itself to this character who you're playing in the physical world. And this is essentially who you think you are. But you are not. You are the I. You are the self. You are pure awareness. So, in order for you to detach from these things, you must learn how to detach from your name, your job, your reputation. And you do this through meditation, by turning off the thinking mind. Turning off the thinking mind allows other aspects of your consciousness to open up. What do I mean? Your whole life you've been thinking, and all of these thoughts has attached you to this physical body. You haven't allowed your consciousness to open up. And you can only do this by taking no thought. That's why Jesus tells you, take no thought. When you turn off the thinking mind, other aspects of your consciousness starts to open up. Other aspects of your being can open up. And this is how you astral project. This is how you do all these mystical things and things to do with consciousness. It's taking no thought. Imagination, emotions, thought, and memory are all to do with consciousness. These things are not physical. You can't touch thought. You can't touch emotions. You can't touch these things because they are not a physical thing. So you must turn off these things for other aspects of your consciousness to open up. Okay? So essentially the Bible is a metaphorical, astrological, numerological, metaphysical, spiritual, encoded text that talks about human anatomy, spirituality, and the true nature of the human experience. Everything they would teach you in school is to make you think that you are this body. Everything they teach you in church is the externalization of the true teachings of Jesus. Jesus was telling you to meditate. Jesus was telling you to practice the single eye. Jesus was telling you to look within yourself and find God. He wasn't telling you to pray to him. Mark 16:19, he was taken up to heaven and sat at the right hand of God, the right hemisphere of your brain. John 21:6, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and ye shall find fish. Fish is understanding. The boat is your body, your brain. Cast your awareness into the right side of your brain and you will find understanding, because the right side of your brain is all to do with the creative aspect and the intuition and the spiritual sides of your consciousness. This is why God is here. This is why Michelangelo depicted God in the right hemisphere of your brain, because this is all human anatomy. And I speak about all of this in the brand new Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. Which is now available. The start of the revolution has begun. This book is truly going to change the way people see the world. It's got so many more topics than the last one. It's truly a revolution. It's written in so much detail. It's very practical. I cannot wait to share this one with you. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity for me to create this book. Because without you, I couldn't have created this. And I just love sharing my work with you. And I thank every single one of you for the support, the watch, like the views and the likes, everything. Especially the people who have joined the university and stuff like that. And for people who have joined the university, you do get a free Book of Wisdom paperback if you just go to the general chat and follow the description, follow what the instructions that I gave you in the chat, and you'll be able to order a free Book of Wisdom if you are inside of the university. Plus you get all of my other books, 2 books, and over 45 occult books on occult and esoteric things. You get lectures, live calls, a community, a manifestation mastery course, and a whole library and reoccurring updates every month, every week. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all. Please leave a comment to help the algorithm and leave a comment on what videos I should make. And yeah, I'll get to uploading on the YouTube a lot more now the second book is now released. I have a lot more time on my hands. No longer using my energy to create the book. I'm now going to redirect this mental energy into the YouTube. So there will be a lot more content coming. So I need some content ideas. So feel free to comment some ideas, some YouTube videos that I can create. Thank you all, people. Have an amazing day.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Welcome people, we're back with another video. In this video we're talking about how Jesus Christ and Christianity is all sun worship. The Holy Bible of Christianity is not meant to be taken literal for history. It is a story and has lots of metaphors. Starting with the symbol of the cross of Jesus. This cross originates from this ancient cross of the sun. This symbol has been used for thousands of years, way before Jesus was a thing, in Europe, America, Asia, and all around the world. In fact, this symbol is still being used by Christians today, not knowing it represents the sun. This is a 4,500-year-old artifact, a golden plate with an equal-armed cross found in England. The gold to symbolize the sun, and the equal-armed cross for the 4 equal seasons of the year. So this is why in the Bible you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, symbolizing the yearly cycle of the sun and the 4 equal seasons. Also in the Bible, Jesus is referred to as the light of the world. So yes, Jesus represents the sun. He is a metaphor for the sun. Hence why in all of these pictures and images and paintings of Jesus, there's always a sun behind his head, and some even with the sun cross behind his head. Jesus also has 12 disciples, which represent the 12 zodiac signs and the 12 months of the year. This is the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. As you can see, the sun, being Jesus, is in the center, because the sun is in the center of the zodiac signs. There are 4 groups which symbolize the 4 equal seasons. Each group contains 3 people symbolizing the 3 months and the 3 zodiac signs in that season. There is only 1 female in the painting, which is Virgin Mary, who symbolizes Virgo, the astrological sign. So yes, Jesus symbolizes the sun with his 12 zodiac signs and 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the year. However, there is another phenomenon. The 25th of December is known as the birth of Jesus Christ, which is known as Christmas today. Jesus symbolizing the sun and is born on December 25th. This is the day the sun moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the warmth, the growth of crops, the life and light back to the northern hemisphere. Everything is springing back to life, as we call it, spring. So it is said that the sun is born again on the 25th of December, and Jesus is known as the risen Savior, because the sun is our risen Savior, because it gives life to the whole of this realm, the warmth, the crops. And without the sun rising in the morning, we'd all die in about 2 weeks. And we all know how Jesus died on a cross. The sun also dies on a cross in the southern hemisphere. It dies on the Southern Crux constellation. And on December the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, the sun remains in the same position. So the sun dies for 3 days, and it is born again on December 25th, when it moves 1 degree northward. And this is when the sun is born again, or resurrected just like Jesus. Constellation Virgo is prominent in the spring sky in the northern hemisphere. So therefore, the sun is born a virgin, Virgo. And as you see in this image, you see Virgin Mary holding the sun. Us as humans do not own the sun, so therefore God owns the sun. So yes, the sun is the Son of God, and this is what Jesus is symbolizing. And just how Jesus sacrifices himself for humanity, that's what the sun does. The sun gives out all of its energy so we can live. There are many other Bible verses which represent Jesus as the sun. Now in Matthew 8:23-27, his disciples are in a boat and there is a massive storm. Jesus is asleep, meaning the sun has not arose. And the disciples say, "Save us, Lord, we are perishing." Quote, "Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm." End quote. Now this is a metaphor for the sun rising and calming the storm, because in the ocean, when the sun is down, that's when there are great storms. The worship of celestial bodies go back thousands of years, and it's called Astro-theology, and it can pretty much be traced back to all ancient civilizations. Now going back to the ancient Egyptians, the god Horus, the god of war, and he symbolized the sun in the morning. Ancients used to say that he walked over the sky in 12 steps. Yes, this could symbolize the 12 zodiac signs. It also symbolizes the 12 hours of daylight. So we have 12 hours of Horus, but now they've rearranged the word to hours. Horus and hours. And when the sun rises, Horus rises, we say horizon, which is Horus is rising. That's the etymology of horizon. Another Egyptian god called Amun-Ra was known as the god of all creation. He was the first god of them all. Amun was also a sun god. Therefore, after every Christian's prayer, they say Amen, sending their prayer through the sun to God. So this all goes back to the worshipping of the sun. Sun worship was around way before the Romans. However, in the Roman times, their sun god was called Mithra. Mithraism was the main religion before Christianity came into play. Mithra was the son of God. He died on a cross, and he was dead for 3 days and resurrected, just like Jesus. So the Catholic Church was not made in heaven. It was made by the Roman Empire. They mixed all the sun religions of Judaism, Mithraism, and other Arabic religions, and combined it into one, so Caesar, the Roman emperor, could gain his own religion. So yes, Christianity was a political move to gain more control over the masses, because it was a worldwide government at this point in time. So here is a Sumerian helmet with the rising sun symbol. And then the Romans also used this rising sun symbol on their armor. So sun worship has been going on for thousands of years, and it still goes on today. However, with all the programming and the low IQs, today we do not get the full interpretation of the Bible and these stories from the past. And Christians and other religions are all brainwashed to not question their religion and not realize their true origins and where they come from. I do advise you all to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. However, I'm just pointing out the facts and connecting dots for you all to see. That's it for this video, guys and girls. Thank you all for tapping in. God bless.
How are we doing, people? It's Revival of Wisdom. We're back today talking about sun worship. Okay? And please enjoy. Sit back and enjoy the video. First thing we need to understand is that the sun is the risen Savior. It's the light of the world. Without the sun, we have nothing. Now, the sun is the Son of God. We didn't make the sun. No one owns the sun. But who created the sun? Obviously, the Creator created the sun. Therefore, it is the Son of God. And that is what Jesus is symbolizing in the Bible. The Bible is a metaphorical story. That's why it's called the greatest story ever told. Because it is a story about the sun, the zodiac. It's about you, the systems in the body. It's about everything that is sacred in this creation. Now you can see the suns behind Jesus' head in all of the ancient portraits. Even the ones that are more modern, you still see a sun on the back of his head. Because he is the sun. He's the light of the world, our risen Savior. And this is what Christians are lost, because they don't realize it's a symbolic story, and they think Jesus was a historical person. He's not a historical person. Okay? This is what we need to get out of our mind. This wasn't a historical person. It's the Son, our risen Savior. The Son is the soul. It's the soul of this creation. Because what is a soul? A soul is pure life force, pure energy. Whatever a soul inhabits, it gives life to. Like our soul feeds our body. The sun feeds the earth, because the sun is a soul, and that's why the ancients called it Sol. Because it's the soul, and it's in you, and it's the light of the world. It's the light of everything. It gives life to all things. Here's Jesus and his 12 disciples. The 12 disciples symbolize the 12 zodiac signs. Aries, it rules the head region, because the 12 zodiac constellations rule specific regions of your body. Aries, the ram, you have a cerebrum in your head. This is Aries on the head of the table. His Gemini rules the arms and the lungs. The two twins, Gemini. He's holding up two hands for the two hands and arms. The twins. Cancer has a knife in his hand. It's not so clear, but he has a knife in his hand. Cancer is the crab. Crabs have claws. And he's pointing at Virgo's Adam's apple, saying there's no Adam's apple there. It's a woman. Who's the sixth sign? The sixth sign is Virgo, the Virgin. The only woman in the painting. Now notice how there are 3 people in 4 groups. For the 4 seasons and for the 3 months and 3 zodiac signs in each season. Spring, summer, fall, winter. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John with the suns on the back of their heads, because it's the 4 states of the sun. The 4 states of the sun. Now, 6th sign, Virgo, the Virgin, the only woman in the painting with no Adam's apple. Then we have the sun, Jesus, red and blue, red shift, blue shift. Electromagnetism. The ancients knew this. He's got one hand open, one hand down, because the sun gives and retrieves. The sun rises and it falls. It gives, then pulls away. That's what the sun does, and that's what he's doing. His arms are out, symbolizing the rays of the sun, casting down onto the earth, giving and then receiving. Libra, his 2 hands are equal. He's holding his arms out equally, because Libra is the 2 balanced scales. Libra is when the sun is balanced between the summer and the winter. It's being judged. The sun isn't balanced. That's what Libra is, the 2 scales. Capricorn is the goat. Goats have 2 horns, and you can see the 2 horns on his head here. See? So this is astrology. This what Leonardo da Vinci is depicting here. It's astrology. And he knew the story of the Bible is all astrology. It's all based on astrology. The Son of God, the real Son. Now here are some Bible verses. I am the light of the world. Obviously, that's the sun. What other light is there that lights up the world? The moon can't do it. It's the sun, the one and only Son, our risen Savior. Because if the sun didn't rise, we'd all be dead. So it's our risen Saviour. And it dies for our sins every night, and then gets reborn every day. Now Jesus calms the storm. Mark 4:35-41. The disciples are all on a boat and there's a heavy storm. But Jesus is asleep. The disciple says, Jesus is asleep. We need to awake him. They wake up Jesus, and Jesus got up and rebuked the wind and said to the waves, quiet, be still. Then the wind died down and it was completely calm. Well, when Jesus was asleep, this is the sun not being risen. It's not risen yet. Because in the night times, that's when the storms happen on the sea, in the ocean. And when they awake Jesus, Jesus rises, because he's the sun, he rises and everything calms. Because when the sun comes, the storms go. You see? So it's the sun. It's all about the sun. Here's another, Luke 22:10. A disciple asked Jesus, when will we know it's the end times? And Jesus says, as you enter the city, a man carrying a jar of water will meet you. Follow him to the house that he enters. Well, this is clearly talking about astrology, the topic that Christians think is satanic, when they don't realize the whole thing's based on astrology. Because the end times is the end of Pisces, which is the two fish, which is the age we've just gone out of. And you can see all these ancient churches here with two fishes, because they knew it was the age of Pisces. There's an ancient photo, ancient artwork with the two fish, Pisces. And the end times, as it talks about in the Bible, when Christians think the world's going to end or something. But no, it's just the end of Pisces. As you enter the city, a man carrying a jar will meet you. Follow him to the house. The house is the zodiac sign that he enters. And the zodiac sign is Aquarius, because that's what it is, a man carrying the water. We know this is astrology because a woman, that is a woman's job in the ancient times. In the ancient times, the woman used to get the water. You would never see a man collecting water back then. That was the woman's job, whilst the man builds the houses, for example. You see, so we know it's talking about astrology because astrology is the man holding the bucket of water. It's the end of Pisces. Now we are in Aquarius. And of course, Luke 24:36, the risen Saviour, the sun. Now the sun is also born on the 25th of December, a virgin, just like Horus, Mithra, Buddha, Krishna, Hermes, and thousands of other gods, all born on the 25th of December. Well, it's because the sun moves 1 degree northward on the 25th of December. And on the 22nd to the 24th, it stays in the same degree because it's moving south. But then on the 22nd, it stays in the same degree on the Southern Crux constellation. And the ancients called this the sun dies on a cross, because the cross is the Crux constellation, the Southern Cross. And it stays on that same degree for 3 days on the cross. The sun dies on a cross, and then on the 25th, moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the summer, the light, the warmth, the growth of crops. And this is the sun being reborn again, a virgin, because it's pure. And here's Mithra, another sun god before Jesus was around, before Christianity. It was Mithraism, and Mithra, Ra is Ra, the sun god, Egypt. It's all about Ra, the sun. You see the crown of thorns on Jesus' head, symbolizing the rays of the sun. And here are the rays of the sun on the back of Mithra's head. Krishna, the sun. Buddha, the sun. Horus, horizon. All born virgins, all did miracles, all resurrected. Dead for 3 days. Well, here he is, dead for 3 days on the cross. And resurrected, because it's the most ancient religion ever been on the face of the earth, the worship of the sun. And we should worship the sun, because without the sun we are nothing. The sun feeds us, feeds the earth, feeds everything. Without the sun we are nothing. It's been reversed, and now we're worshipping man. When we're worshipping a man called Jesus, was never real. It's all about the sun, the Most High, the most powerful, potent celestial body in the sky, the orb that feeds us every day. It dies for our sins and rises every day. It's the sun. Now on the Holy Communion Day, it's the worship of the sun. They give out mini suns. Here's Jesus holding a sun. And they raise the sun on Sunday, because they go to worship their sun god on Sunday. Not Saturn Day, not Moon Day, Monday, but on Sunday when the sun is exalting. And they hold suns up above their heads because the sun rises. They're symbolizing the sun rising above their heads as Savior. It's the sun. It's the Holy Communion Day. And here's Jesus giving a piece of himself to the children. It's the sun, the light. Judas was known as a backbiter, a backstabber, because he stabbed Jesus in the back. He betrayed Jesus. Well, this is just another astrological story about the constellation Scorpio, because the Scorpio is the J. Looks like a J. J for Judas, the scorpion, the backbiter. Scorpions backbite. They bite with their back. And what does Judas do? He betrays Jesus by kissing him to let the warriors know who they need to get. So he kisses Jesus and Jesus gets stabbed in the back. Well, when you get stung or bit by a scorpion, they leave like a kiss. So Judas kisses him and gets betrayed. Well, this is because the sun, when it hits Libra, it's balanced. The sun is balanced because it comes through summer. Now the sun's starting to die. The sun's starting to die. It hits Libra. And then as soon as it hits the Scorpio, it gets betrayed because now the sun has to fall to winter, and Saturn is there waiting to take over the darkness of the winter. So he gets stabbed in the back by Scorpio, Judas, the scorpion, the backstabber. You see, it's an astrological story. Here's Mary. Mary means marry, which means pure. The sun is pure. No one gave birth to the sun but the God. And it's born every day. It's born every day on every year. It's born pure. There was no controversy. There was no, activity for the sun to be born. It's pure. Now, the 7 metals come from the 7 planets. The sun gives you gold, and this is why the sun is golden. It looks gold. And this is why the banks are backed by gold, because gold is the most valuable metal, because it's the sun, the most valuable celestial orb in the sky, in the heavens. Well, here's Jesus, another ancient symbol of him being crucified on the cross with the big sun, the Southern Cross constellation. The sun dies on the cross constellation. And if you go to the old etymology dictionaries, you will see sun and son is the same word. They come from the same etymology roots. You can use them for no matter what, but they've been confused today. But if you go back to the old dictionaries of etymology, they are interchangeable. You can use them. Son, sun, sol, it's all the same thing. The 12 disciples, 12 brothers of Joseph, 12 tribes of Israel, 12 breastplates on the stones, because it's all the 12 astrological signs. They could have used any other number, but there's 12. Because 12 is the mind, which is God. 7 is the number of matter, which is man. 7 energy centers in the body. 12 cranial nerves in the brain, because it's the mind. 12 is the 12ness. The zodiac is literally the mind of God, the signs of God. Now here we see here, Job 38, 31 to 33. Can you lead forth a constellation in the season? He's asking you, can you read the sky? Can you read the heavens? Canst thou bring forth the Mazzaroth in its season? Mazzaroth means 12 signs, the zodiac. Why did they translated every single Hebrew word in the Bible into English, but they decided to leave out Mazzaroth? Why? It's because if that said zodiac, Christians would have a different view on the Bible, but they leave that out. But Mazzaroth actually means the 12 signs, the zodiac, and the stars means sign. The word stars means sign because the stars are signs, things to come, which is off. in Hebrew, which means sign, things to come. You see a sign on the road, it's something coming. But God is saying, no, what does he say? To qualify as a director, a judge of man's life on earth, one must be able to govern the heavenly bodies that rule the earth. It's telling you to read the heavens. We need to read the heavens. Astrology, the 12 zodiac signs, the mind of God. It's telling you, read the Mazzaroth, read the zodiac, because they are things to come in your life. They are signs. It's not satanic, it's made by God. God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs. Signs are things to come. The 12 zodiac signs. It's all about astrology. Here's Mary holding the sun. His son, her son. It's the sun in the sky. The one and only, the most high. The soul, the solo because it's on its own. The most powerful, Ra, radiance. Here's the Pope holding the sun. All three popes holding the sun, because they're sun worshippers and they know the true meaning and origins behind Christianity. Sun worship. Here's the Vatican is a sundial. Yes, this is literally a clock. Your clock, your watch is a sundial. It's got 12 sections on it for the 12 zodiac signs. 12 hours, 12 Horuses. Now here you see Jesus walking on water. Well, it's the sun. And here's the beard of the sun. Here's the pyramid of the sun, the illuminated one, the all-seeing eye, the sun. Here's the Ankh. The sun creates these symbols. The ancients knew this. Now when you see these headdresses, these are actually the days of precession of the sun. Aries, Cancer, Libra. It's all about the sun. Here's some more sun worship going back to Egypt. Ra, Horus, Osiris, and Set. Jesus and Satan is Horus and Set. The sun and Saturn. Saturn rules the winter, Satan. Jesus, the sun, the light of the world, rules the summer, rules the day. Satan's the night, Saturn's the night, the sun is the day. The evil brother, Satan. Well, Horus comes, this is where we get the word hours from. There are 12 Horuses. The sun moves in 12 Horuses, 12 hours. Where's Horus? What hour is it? Where's Horus? His Ra, 12 noon, Ra, radiates, powerful, the most high sun. That's why he has a sun on the top of his head. These are the four states of the sun. Set, sunset. This is why we say sunset, because the sun is setting. His sunset, his Horus, horizon. The Horus is rising, Ra radiating, and the sunset. Then midnight is Osiris. Here's another ancient symbol for the sun, the scarab. Ra, the sun, scarab. It's got the word Ra in it because it's the sun. And here's the sun on top of the scarab with the wings. Because scarabs roll dung up hills, and then they'll let it fall down the hill to gain more matter. To gain more, bigger, like a snowball effect. And the ancients saw this as a process of the sun, because the sun climbs up the hill and then it falls. So they used the scarab to symbolize the process of the sun. The sun climbs and falls. Here's an ancient Egyptian cat cutting off the head of the serpent. Well, the cat is cutting off the head of the serpent, symbolizes the sun cutting off the nighttime. When the sun rises, it cuts off the nighttime. It cuts off the serpent. The serpents represent darkness or evil. Oh, there's some more symbology of the sun and the heavens, the arch, the royal arch, the firmament, the sun inside the firmament. These are all ancient churches, and they all depict the firmament with the sun inside. Is the ancient cosmology, you see, because it's all about the sun. Everything's about the sun, because the sun is our orb made for us to sustain life and inside of this creation, inside of this firmament, the royal arch of heaven. Here's the Freemasons depicting it. Here's the Masonic royal arch. But you can even see the zodiac signs. Here's Cancer, the checkered board. It's the royal arch of the firmament. Obviously, they don't want to tell you that. You live in space, apparently. Some more sun worship. Here's the beard of the sun on the water. They all have this long beard. And why do they say amen? Amen at the end of every prayer. Amen is a sun god, a creator god. It's all about the sun. So thank you all, people. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all gained some knowledge and insight. Please give me a follow, drop a comment, drop a like. Have a good day. Love you all.
What is good, people? We're back with another video, and today we're talking about the chakras. Let's jump straight into this because I know there's been a lot of requests for this video. So let's jump straight into this. So you have 7 chakras, right? 7 chakras, and these chakras are feeding off your electromagnetic field, known as your aura. This is both positive and a negative pole, male and female, right? This electromagnetic field is made out of electric and magnetism, and together they come as electromagnetic. Now, your chakras, the word chakra just means wheel, spinning wheel, because that's what they are. They are spinning wheels of energy. They do not exist on this physical plane. They exist on the etheric plane. Okay? Now, these energy centers are known to regulate your emotions, and each energy center controls the organs and cells in that particular area of the body. So, for example, your sacral chakra will control the cells and organs of your sexual reproduction area. Okay? The navel chakra or solar plexus will control the digestion in your body. Same with the heart, same with the throat, right? So they are like mini brains for each center of your body. They run along up the spine, but notice the crown chakra exists outside the body. It's just above the head. Now, this process of the chakras is obviously the 7 colors of the rainbow, starting from red, which is the lowest vibrational color, all the way to violet, which is the highest vibrational color. This, like I said, these energy centers are feeding off your electromagnetic field. So if these chakras are unbalanced, they are taking too much energy from your electromagnetic field, making it weaker. Now, this is the North Pole. As you all know, the Earth is flat, and we live inside of a giant torus field, and the North Pole is the Earth's heart chakra. And this is why the aurora borealis, or the northern lights, whatever you want to call them, that's why they are green, and they are being emitted from this center point of the Earth, because it's symbolizing the heart chakra, which is green, right? Now, you do work your way up to these. However, this is a torus field. You are a torus field. You have different layers of this torus field, right? And you need to balance all of these chakras, but you can't move up these chakras until you open the one below it. So it's like a stairway. You can't go to your solar plexus without going through your sacral. You see? So you have to work up these. However, you have to work up these and then live from the heart,
because the heart is the center of the torus field. It's the balance between male and female poles, positive and negative poles. So you have to balance all of these chakras and then bring them all into one, which is the heart chakra. Now, they exist on the etheric plane. They exist on the etheric plane, and the etheric plane is a layer of the material plane. It's the one higher than the material plane, and then after the etheric plane, it melts into the astral plane. So they exist just between the physical and the astral aspect. Now, this is the yin and yang matter, which is the lowest root chakra, physical matter, and then to spirit, because high vibrational matter turns into spirit, low vibrational spirit turns into matter. So they're interchangeable. This is the yin and yang. Now, when you see ancient paintings with the halos, you see this is like a toroidal field coming out the top of his head, you see, with a halo. This was symbolizing in the old days, in the ancient days, that they've aligned their chakra, they've reached Christ consciousness, which is God consciousness, right? Now, this electromagnetic field is the apple that we bit out of in the Bible, because you see that apple is a torus field. So they were metaphorically or personifying the torus field. That's what the Bible is. It's a massive personification. It's all metaphors. You have to read it properly. It's got a greater meaning behind it. Now, when we bit from the apple, we ate from the tree of knowledge, which is good and evil. Our lower mind took over, so we materialized to feed our physical bodies. We materialized through Saturn. That's what Saturn does. Now, if you don't understand that, go and watch the video previous to this one called Occult Secrets of Saturn, and that will show you how Saturn is the materializer. Now, this is one of the secrets behind the Masonic compass: electric and magnetic, male and female, duality, positive and negative. Now, like I said, they teach you about the torus field, about a magnet in school, but they don't teach you about your electromagnetic field. Everything alive has a torus field. It is the building block of this creation. Absolutely everything has a torus field. There's not one thing without it. And as you can see here at the center of the apple, that's where the seed is. That's where the life is. The reproduction of that organism. As you see, this is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored, in the center, because this is where the two duality, this is where the field meets at the very center. This is why the seed is at the very center. Now, your spine is a elongation of the brain. The brain